quite a lot of requests for this over on my Instagram, the Bookstagram account, maelovesbooks. So I decided to make this for you. Also, we are doing a young enterprise project with my friends, and we are going to be selling these roses. So for any customers from our stand, I hope you enjoy the video, and this is how to make the roses that you've bought. So the first thing you want to do is to take a book, an old book that you plan to use for craft purposes. Don't take one of your nice ones, or buy some books from the charity shop if you want a particular book. So I have done a few of these with Harry Potter books, but it was with an old copy purchased from a charity shop. So then you just want to take some pages from the book and tear them out. You can see that I've already done that with this copy. So if you just take sort of a group of about 4 pages together and pull it very gradually from the corner. They're quite hard to get out at first, but once you get going it's easier to pull them out. The next thing you want to do is to take your pages and to trim the sides, because quite often they have rough edges at the side once you've torn them out, unless it's got really weak glue binding. So if we just take a pair of scissors and trim all the edges of the pages. So now you've got your pages trimmed, you want to separate them and take them individually, one at a time. And you just want to take a corner, fold it in to the centre so that you form a triangle shape like this. And then you want to trim off this extra rectangle of paper at the top with your scissors. So now that you've got this triangle, you want to take it and open it up, and you'll have a full square of paper. So from your full square you want to fold it, but the opposite way to the previous fold, so that you've got folds from corner to corner, both corners. So your page will now be folded like this from corner to corner, and you want to fold it across one fold and then fold along the other fold until you have a smaller triangle, and then you want to fold that triangle in half one more time, and that should form a really small triangle. So then you're going to take your scissors again, and what you're going to do is cut, but you're going to have to cut a circular shape, so sort of a semi-sphere around the top till you've got a petal shape. And then you just want to cut a really tiny bit off the edge, snip it off the end, so that when you open up your set of petals, you have a hole in the middle. So after you've produced one round set of petals, you want to produce 3 more sets. So I've just made 3 more sets here. And then we want to take them and cut them into different size segments. So for your first one, you just want to cut that straight in half. So it's 2 sets of 4 petals. You won't actually use both of these sets. You can put one set of 4 petals aside, and then you can use that if you make another flower. For the next one, you want to cut it so there are 3 petals and 5 petals, like this. For the next one, you want to cut it so there are 2 petals and 6 petals. Just like this. And for the last one, you want to cut it so that there are 1 and 7 petals. So this allows you to form the different layers of the roses. So the first one you want to take is your set of petals with 7 petals. And with a glue stick, my favourite's a Pritt stick, take your glue stick and you glue a fine line along the edge of the flower. Then with your glued edge, you just attach that to the next normal side along, so that you have one sort of rounded set of flowers. And then we just keep repeating this process, next with your set of 6 and then going down in numerical value. So the next thing you want to do is to take first your biggest flower and then take one of your skewers. Your skewers are in the end for the stems, but you can use them for dual purpose as well. So you take the skewer, put it at the edge of the petal, and you start folding your petal round it. Once you've rolled all of your sets of petals, you'll have all the different layers, and then when you stack them together it will look like a rose, but obviously they're not actually stuck together yet, so it will fall apart at this stage. So the next thing that I'm going to do is to glue all the layers together, but you can do it with a Pritt stick if you want, but it's probably not going to stick very well. So you can either try to use PVA glue, some sort of liquid glue, or what we're going to do is use a glue gun just because it is a bit stronger. So we're going to glue gun all the layers together. I'm just going to go put my glue gun on, wait for it to heat up, and then we'll show you what to do. Do a circle of glue. It doesn't have to be perfect, just enough for it to stay, and put the next layer in. Squeeze it together a bit so that the layer stays inside. Try and keep the petals of the inside layer inside the outside layer, and then just repeat this with each layer. With your last petal you just want to push it into the middle and try and keep it pushed down a bit. Just pull away any last trails of glue. Don't worry, they're not sticky at this point, and there you have your flower. So the last thing you want to do is to take your skewer and you want to just push it through the middle. You don't necessarily have to go through the central petal, and this is why we have cut holes in the bottom beforehand. It's to make it easier to push your skewer through. So you just want to push it through once with the pointy end outwards, push it through twice to make sure that you've got enough of a hole. The last thing you want to do is to take your skewer, you put your glue gun to the edge of it and gradually pull the kind of trigger as you wrap it round. Wrap the glue around the top of the stick on the pointy end, and then push this through the hole that you have created until the skewer, you can't see the pointy end of it's not come through the other end, and you can't see any of the glue through, and there you have a complete rose. You now have your completed flower. It's quite nice to make a few of these and bunch them together, maybe give them as a gift, or for Valentine's Day you can make them. And we also recommend, if you want the stick to be covered, that you take the edges of your paper that you cut off before so you don't waste them, and you can either paper mache them on, glue them on, just wrap them round, or sellotape them on so that you cover the stick, or if you like the natural look of the stick you can also leave it like this. We hope you've enjoyed watching the tutorial, especially if you came from the trade fairs or from one of the other fairs that we've done, and we hope to see you again soon. Bye!